Electoral bonds, like promissory notes, allow individuals or companies in India to fund political parties. One of the key features of these bonds was the anonymity they provided to donors, and that's what the Supreme Court of India found unconstitutional. On February 15, a 5-judge constitution bench of the Apex Court struck down the electoral bond scheme on the ground that they violate the right to information. The court argued that such details are crucial for a voter's ability to exercise the right to vote effectively. Electoral bond scheme is not the only scheme to curb black money. There are other alternatives, the top court said. As per the court mandate, now the State Bank of India must disclose data on electoral bond buyers and donors to political parties from 2019 to the Election Commission by March 6. The Commission will then publish this information on its website by March 13.
It's a very good judgment, and it has struck down the law which could not be justified at all by the government. But according to me, the judgment has fallen short of not asking to refund this money to the people who have invested, because this investment was done under the assurance of anonymity and secrecy. And now suddenly you make these names public, for which they have not agreed. So this refund should have happened, and if they were still interested in giving the money back to the political party, or if they give in writing that they want this money to continue with disclosure, then only this money should remain with the political party. Anybody who has benefited by a completely unconstitutional law should not be permitted to keep the spoils of such laws.
The electoral bond scheme was introduced in the Finance Bill in 2017 and was notified by the government in 2018. Electoral bonds ranging from 1,000 to 1 crore rupees were available at all branches of State Bank of India. These were accessible through a KYC compliant account, with no quantity restrictions for individuals or companies. They allowed undisclosed contributions and a full tax exemption. Between 2017 and 2023, the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party gathered the highest sum of anonymous donations, totaling around 6,566 crore rupees, making up 55% of total donations, as per data from the Election Commission and the Association for Democratic Reforms. The Indian National Congress secured a relatively lower amount of 1,123 crore rupees, representing 9% of the donations. The All India Trinamool Congress also received 1,092 crore rupees since 2017. The Communist Party of India, Marxist, is the sole national party that did not accept donations from electoral bonds. The State Bank of India issued 16,518 crore rupees worth of electoral bonds between March 2018 and January 2024. More importantly, the SC judgment comes on the heels of the 18th Lok Sabha elections that are due in 2 months. Archis Mohan of Business Standard elaborates on the political significance of the judgment.
The Supreme Court verdict ridding the instrument of electoral bonds of their anonymity ensures a level playing field in some respects. First, potentially, now everyone gets to know who funded whom and if there were any quid pro quos involved. Second, it would also tell us whether a particular corporate group funded one specific party or parties across the board. Now, if the latter were to be true, then the space for accusation and counter-accusation between political parties would reduce. However, concerns about the role of black money in political funding continue to remain.
With electoral bonds now outlawed, experts say this will bring back the pre-2017 electoral funding practices which were not so transparent.
At the moment, this is what it implied, that since the bond scheme has been declared unconstitutional, we are back to pre-2017 situation where most of the transactions, most of the donations were in cash. That also was not a very satisfactory state of affairs. Almost 70% of all donations to all political parties were by cash. So we did not know the source. Who are the people? What kind of money is it? So which is why we had been asking for transparency.
So, what measures can be implemented to ensure a transparent system for funding elections in India?
One is that we do away with the present system altogether. There are two alternative possibilities which I have been writing about, people have been talking about. One is the public funding of elections. But more than that, better than that, is establishment of a national election fund to which all donors can contribute. And the fear which is being held out that there is reprisal from political parties against the donors, and that's why they want to keep it a secret, all that will disappear. Let them contribute to the national election fund, from where it will be distributed to the political parties based on their performance, electoral performance, the number of votes that they get. So I think that is an alternative which has been mentioned but never debated, never discussed. I think the time has come for it to be on the table and discussed very seriously.
India is heading to the polls soon, and any reforms in the electoral funding ecosystem are expected to be legislated after the elections. In the meantime, the country will revert to pre-2018 election funding methods, which were also opaque. The Supreme Court's judgment serves as a reminder that institutional changes and monitoring of election funds are imperative to scrutinize any vested interests by donors.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.